Peter Obi actually, suspending his campaign and calling on other parties, including, of course, the PDP and the APC, to do same as a mark of, concern for the flood victims. Will the PDP go ahead and do that? And the other issue raised by the Labour Party, the health status of Atiku Abubakar. They're saying he's not fit enough to, take the reins of Nigeria in 2023.
Thank you very much for having me, and it's nice to be here again. And good evening, Nigerians. Hey, let's start from this. It is sad that the calamity befalling this country right now, in terms of the flood victims and all the destruction that we see, is sad. And I think every right-thinking Nigerian will connect to that sentiment. But as PDP, we have been upfront on this. I don't think anybody should profit from the suffering of other people and politicize it. I expect that the president candidate of Labour Party, if you really want to do something, it's not by announcing that you want to suspend campaigns. There's what we call multitasking. If he cannot multitask, then he's not fit to be the president of this country. Do you need to go under the clear light to announce, oh, I'm suspending campaigns so that I can see people? Really? I think we must put this in perspective. And the era where people come in position of authority and public position and then say things like this, to trivialize that, is actually very disturbing to me. The PDP does its thing simultaneously as we reach out to victims all over the country. He doesn't need any announcement like that, stage manager, and then get photo ops to discuss that. So for me,
so you think it's politicizing the issue?
Absolutely,
and all of that. But the second leg of my question,
about the health.
Yes,
again, is
it fit enough? That's a question that's been raised.
Absolutely. Number one, I'm not a medical doctor. I cannot claim to be one. But from our own...
It's fitness now, not the health status.
Absolutely.
Right.
How do you determine fitness? Again, when I watch the Labour Party, and I try not to get issue on personal these issues. Someone yesterday tweeted, and I hate to even talk about it, and lied. I mean, because it's so sad. When you people go on social media, the platform world, to lie about somebody collapsing at the airport, which is not true. That's irresponsible. And to have a political party wanting to be the president of this country, or to produce the president, latching at the national level, perhaps international level, to say the same thing, echoing lies, I would describe this very adversely as irresponsible.
Okay. All right. You say the Labour Party is scoring cheap political points by announcing the suspension of their campaigns. How has the PDP reached out to the flood victims to even show concern? I want you to answer that.
Yeah, again, like I said,
you have to be in government to connect with the people?
No, you don't have to be. We're already connected with the people.
How are you connected with them?
Because at different level from our state level where issues are there, we're talking to the governments behind the scene, because I don't want to come on TV and say, oh, we're giving 200 bags of rice to somebody or 1,000 bags of gari. Great. I think that is not the right thing for us, because we are connected, one, on the issue. What are the challenges that brings about this? Why are we in this? I think those are very important, because again, it goes beyond the hop, step, and step, jump fixation. We don't want to do that. We want to go into policy issues, go at the issues that
not
we
knee-jerk
talk about.
reactions.
Not knee-jerk, we just like a rapid resort college. No, we don't do that.
Let me ask you, is the umbrella still able to accommodate everybody? And I ask this because it will look like Governor Wike of Rivers State seems larger than the PDP. He's dared your party to suspend him. He's not been suspended. And just yesterday, we heard him publicly endorse the candidate of the APC in Lagos. And I do know your party has a candidate in Lagos. So is that umbrella still intact?
The umbrella is very much intact. If anything, it's actually taking more people into the umbrella. Again, when you talk about the person of Governor Wike, I have always said at the plan that he's an important member of this party. One thing is clear, he had not said he's not a member of this party. And that is gratifying. But again, this is a party that is measured, that follows a process. Even in the haste to do things, the tendency that you want to get things done, but the likelihood that you will breach rules and then go against the rule of law is there. There's a temptation. We don't want to do that. And for us, conversation is ongoing. I just recall, I think 2 days ago, Ukraine and Russia were exchanging prisoners of war. What does it mean? They're talking.
Right.
So constantly we're talking. We are hopeful. We expect and we hope that Governor Wike will recognize that he has been a pillar of this party and that this party had provided him the platform that promoted him into prominence. And that's very important. It's a symbiotic relationship.
And if he doesn't recognize that hope?
What happens is this. Like I said, because the party has a process, I'm not going to come in here and discuss the internal processes of our party in terms of how we respond, one way or the other. Yes, those conversations, those discussions, those pictures and videos that we saw, of course the party will look into that, of course decide as appropriate, without losing the fact that yes, there's need for us to be together in unity, because, and this is more important, beyond all these comments and all these positions, that we are all agreed that this country requires rescuing and that all hands will be on deck. And we expect that Governor Wike will demonstrate that office, which he owes, which he will respect, that he will do that which is needful in the interest of Nigeria and the fact that this country requires rescuing and we need everybody to be on board for that matter.
Right. And still on that train, there seems to be a demarketing of the PDP from within the top echelons of the party. We heard Otom, the governor of Benue State, say that if he wasn't a member of the PDP, he would, endorse Peter Obi. Was he just, playing to the gallery at that point? No one knows. The answer is, in the wind. And then again, the national women leader, Professor Stella, Efa, claims that she's being marginalized. She's not been carried along this, mainstream, the campaigns, whether in Kaduna, in Uyo, she was, she didn't play any role. Unlike what we're seeing with the APC, Better I Do, she seems to be everywhere. What exactly is the situation with that?
Okay. On the first round of the governor of Benue State, I'm happy that he said, if he were not a member. So which means he's a member
of the PDP.
Which means he subscribes to all the beliefs we have.
Right.
That is gladdening. Again, Governor Tom, in the video that you ran before this, coming into this
chat, of course.
The chat in particular, he had said that this country is sick. Who made it sick? APC. So if he agrees that this country requires fixing and that he has a part to play, then of course I believe he will. And I have no doubt about that, because he had demonstrated that he is a member of this party publicly, which has again affirmed. So I have no reason to doubt that at the appropriate time he will. And they will come on board because they know that the corporate existence and the interest of this country is far above party and individual. So I am confident about that.
The PDP has more southern governors than it does with the north, unlike the governing party that has more northern governors than the south. I'm laying this foundation for my question. Your candidate is from the north. You do have more southern governors, yet you have more southern governors who seem to be boycotting your candidate. In the APC, we've seen more northern governors endorse, publicly, Bola Tinubu, who is from the south. Are you concerned with the politics of numbers and the region that we are seeing playing out, and how it will affect Atiku Abubakar?
Nigerians are connected to PDP because we have capacity, we have experience, and Nigerians know, and they can do a comparison of 16 years of PDP and 7.5 years of APC. They are there in the public domain. Is it life security? Is it job security? Is it education? Is it electricity? Is it even communication? Anything. Just name it. Nigeria can make a determination. Is it debt that you cannot relate to any development? 42 trillion today and counting, where tomorrow it can be X can be anything we don't know. Is it the prices of the exchange rate between the dollar and the naira that we can't talk about, which makes planning difficult? Is it the SME that are dying in droves? So it's endless. But we have a candidate who has experience, who has capacity, who is fit, who has done it before at this level, who understands, and who is a bridge builder, who has been described variously as a unifier. That is important because this country needs unity. Without unity, even the challenges security-wise, you can't fix because it's a partnership between government and the led. It is only when you have information that you pass it on to the security that they can act on it. If you find a part of this country where people feel that they are not wanted, of course they have information that could help you security-wise, they won't give it. This is a party, the APC, have always been, and when I look at some of the pictures, I think they denied something about Kaduna and their action there. It was laughable. I read that statement. It's so infantile. Sorry to use that word, because APC has never owned up to anything.
All right.
They've never owned up to anything. They've never done anything.
Okay, let's
when killings happen under them, they don't know about it.
Right.
When people were dying in Benue, the president didn't know about it. When people were killed in Maiduguri, they were told, oh, we didn't know about it, they didn't tell us. When people died at the NSAS in Lagos, this government came out and said, nobody died. Again, it's a character of that. So if they denying Kaduna, it is typical of the character. And in any event, the very, very sad commentary to say, we hired thugs, and then they were not paid. And then they disrupted the process before it started.
Right.
They should have disrupted after they have done the job and you didn't pay them. But so infantile. I read it and I just said,